Good morning. My name is Chief Steve Byford. I'm with the Taylor Fire Rescue from Taylor, British Columbia, Canada. Today I want to show you our new Enforcer pumper that we've just done a final inspection on with Pierce down here in Appleton. We chose the Enforcer body because it's a little more ergonomic, lower for our crews to get in and out of. This vehicle has the Detroit 525 engine. In our area where we're from, we have a lot of hills, and this vehicle with all the equipment will be able to get us up these hills with no issues. Another thought when we built this vehicle, in Taylor we are a paid-on-call department. Due to that, we don't know who's going to show up all the time. So in the past, our vehicles have been spread out with equipment. This vehicle will allow us to go to any one of our three major, being highway rescue, medicals, and fire, with one engine instead of multiple vehicles, allowing us to do a better job. Due to the ruggability, we're a very rural department in northern Canada. We went with a lot of options that will make this truck last for our 20 years. As you can see on the door and the floor, we've put in diamond plate just to protect the doors and the flooring. Makes for easier cleaning. As you can notice here, the cab is a different size. That's because we have what we call a top mount enclosed pumper. This allows the engineer to work from an enclosed area while keeping warm. There is days up in Taylor that we get to minus 40 Fahrenheit or colder, thus the reason to keep the engineer and the troops warm. Along with that, we went with this cab design, which has the front airbag system to protect our firefighters. In the past, we've used commercial type engines, and we've wanted to go that next progress forward, ensuring the safety of our members. So due to the configuration of this cab, we have our 4 seats back facing to the rear, which allows access to the top mount enclosed pump panel. The pump panel is not much different than you'd see on the outside of a typical engine, except that everything is inside here, either air conditioned in the summer or heated in the winter. We have pretty good visibility, as you can see, through the windows towards the rear and towards the front. We have 2 skylight windows that allows the engineer to have a relatively 360-degree vision. Another feature we went with, due to our rural area, we don't have much lighting other than what comes on the truck. So we went with the LED lighting behind the grab bars themselves, just for our firefighters' safety. So we went with a 2000 GPM pump due to the fact that we could be the only engine on scene in our rural area. This allows us to have multiple lines coming out. In addition, because of our cold climate, we have a winter heating package on the pump that is diesel fired and heated. As you can see, there's an external box at the bottom that allows to house and keep our complete pump package warm, so we're not worried about freezing in the winter. Ergonomically, again, as we talked, our cross lays here are at a nice level for our firefighters to grab from the ground level. As we move back, we had to maximize space in our vehicle. So on this side, we went with full depth compartments going all the way to the rear. As you can see, again, for ergonomics, we went with sliding drawers that allow our firefighters to reach equipment, but yet get it up out of the way when we're ready to roll. One of our main response areas is highway rescue. We have over 40 kilometers of highway that we cover. As I mentioned before, our equipment was spread over multiple vehicles. Now in this vehicle, we have installed a hydraulic system. We do not have to rely on our rescue truck to arrive on scene. We have the equipment on one truck to not just take care of structural fires, but the road rescue component that we respond to quite a bit. Further, we went with a ladder style access for the top of the truck. Again, firefighter safety being paramount in all of our decisions here with this truck. Scene lighting is a big for us too. We went with LED scene lighting around the entire truck, especially since we're out on the highway. It being seen is a safety factor for us. Another forward-thinking way of this engine is we went with Storts connections around all outlets on this truck. As you can see, the quick turn versus the thread that you normally see, not only on the high vol inlet area, but on all of our discharges, as you can see here as well. This allows for a quicker connection for our fire hoses with our firefighters. Since our 2.5-inch hose is pre-connected, we wanted to keep the outlet inside the hose bed itself, as you can see. This allows for the hose not to be hanging off the back of the truck. This line also has the capability of the Husky 3 foam system that is installed on this truck, supplying foam and water through this connection. Another addition we added to this truck due to limited manpower sometimes on scene is a remote operated monitor. This monitor will come up 18 inches and clear the top of the truck, the ladder that is located here, and then it can be remotely operated up to 100 meters away so that the operator of the stream where it's being used either on offensive or defensive operations can be utilized by the person on the ground that actually sees where the water is landing, not necessarily the engineer from the truck being blinded by operations. As you can see up here, we still require ladders, but since it's not a piece of equipment we use all that often, getting them up and out of the way above the hose beds allowed us to have more compartment space on the officer side of the truck. By having this ladder coming down off the roof, as you can see now, the firefighters have access at a normal working level to remove the ladders, which we have a 35, a 24, and a 14 foot on the front. We'll have a attic ladder on the rear and the 2 pike poles, as you can see. One of the features we tried to get rid of is the diesel type generator on this truck. This vehicle comes with a heavy duty inverter. All of our power outlets are shoreline power when plugged in, or switches over automatically to inverter power while we're out on the road. This is paramount because this keeps all of our batteries for our rescue equipment, our fans, that type of stuff that we need on scene. For some of that scene equipment, we went with a pegboard that, as you can see here, allows us to mount on both sides, maximizing equipment storage. In addition, using all the space possible for not only BAs, we have areas for our fire extinguisher bottles also. Further forward, more pegboards, more areas to charge equipment and maximize what we can do with the truck. Little features that we added an air outlet, not only for, you know, filling tires if we had to, but more for our air equipment when we are on scene of a motor vehicle accident. It's just one little small feature that makes our firefighters' jobs a lot easier. We have access to the speed trays on both sides. Again, as we showed you, the nice thing about these is they're removable. We bought an extra set so that our firefighters in the middle of the night, they don't have to rebed the hose. We can grab off the floor and carry on. One of the areas on the truck, typically for us back here, there wasn't a compartment, but we've added the compartment, which allows us to put things like irons, very quick accessible equipment that the firefighters may use when we first get on scene. Again, with firefighter safety in mind, we went with the M4 flashing lights. Our biggest safety concern is when we're on the highway, and this was an added feature that, again, will keep our firefighters safe. We went with the ICOM headset system inside. Both the officer and drivers are wireless. This allows the engineer to use the headset and radio system while on scene, and also the officer, if he gets out to ground guide the vehicle, he can have direct communications with the driver. In the rear of the vehicle, we do have the ICOM system, but it's a wired system for them. Another small feature as we looked at building this custom truck was just the grab handles on the front of the vehicle. It may be a simple task of getting up to wash the windows when we're back at the fire hall, but that safety, getting them up there is paramount. We went with the rotobeam lights. A lot of times going through intersections, this gives visibility to the left and right of the truck. And as you can notice up on the top of the truck, we did the same. Allows for a better scene lighting for going through intersections. In the center of the truck, we have the high-vis, what we call the light cannon. We're still waiting for the head to arrive, but this is one of the first Pierce trucks that this has been put on. And again, this is for getting us light out in the rural area that we typically work in up in Taylor. So on the front of the truck here, we went with a trash line, allowing us to get quick access when we pull up on car fires and such as that. With the outlet itself, with the added of the safety brackets on the back, just keeps the hose away from the truck for rub abrasion protection. We went with the dual siren two-tone to get that sound out where we need to up in our area, along with the dual air horns. From start to finish, from pre-construction to now final acceptance of the vehicle, was an excellent, easy process working with Pierce. I want to thank Pierce and Commercial from Canada, specifically Mike Thompson, and in the work that he's done with us over the last year, producing a frontline truck that Taylor is going to be proud to have and be able to accomplish our goals over the next 20 years.